Aloha, y'all. Welcome to Local Link, where we meet Hawaii-kind businesses, find someone, somewhere, or something new as we get to know Hawaii-kind people and what their businesses are all about. I'm your host, Kathy Marzon, and I'm with Emma Bello from Sweet Land Farm. This place is amazing, and I can hardly wait to find out more about Emma and her business. So welcome, Emma.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. So once again, y'all, Emma is from Wahiawa. I get great thrills out of that. Okay, so Emma's from Wahiawa. Her family's from Wahiawa. Emma, tell me a little bit about, you were raised in Wahiawa, and did you go to school there? What was life like in Wahiawa growing up?
So I was born at the General Hospital, Wahiawa General Hospital. I grew up doing projects over the weekend with my family, very family oriented. So starting this farm with my family was just the right fit.
Nice.
Great upbringing, went to school in Wahiawa. Just an awesome upbringing.
So are you a graduate from Lelehua?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Go Mules, go Mules. So you grew up in Wahiawa, very family oriented. That's great because so now your family, your parents have their own business, and so entrepreneurship is kind of like in your blood.
In my blood. So I grew up going to also my grandparents' egg farm, Peterson Upland Farm. They are over 100 years old, and my auntie and my cousin took it over. And my parents have their millwork business also in Wahiawa. So very Wahiawa upbringing.
Awesome.
Just an awesome upbringing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grew up in Wahiawa. You've done a lot of things, and now you're moving into adulthood, and there's a goat farm that appears. How did that all come about?
So this farm came about 8 years ago. I grew up going to my auntie's cow dairy in Tillamook, Oregon, and always loved the farming aspect of the business, loved the animals. I love animals. And she always told me, Emma, cows are just a lot of work. They're just so big. So goats, when that came about, it was just perfect. So I went to culinary school after I graduated high school, wanted a summer job. My mom found Surfing Goat Dairy on Maui. And by the 3-month mark, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be a pastry chef anymore. I want to do this goat thing.
Wow.
It just hit me like, this is what I want to do. My parents have a poultry background in college, so we're like, let's get back into ag. Fast forward, I spent a year in Maui, came back, did culinary again, went to California, spent 7 months at another dairy there where they milked a lot more goats, and came back, got some goats, we got the farm, graduated, and just been going ever since. And This is old pineapple land, so nothing was here. The previous owners didn't do anything with the farm. So we started from scratch, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've been on this site for 8 years?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. This place is absolutely beautiful. It's serene. The buildings here are almost like they're built like almost like vintage almost.
That was our purpose, like a plantation style, because the 6 houses that we brought over from Red Hill below Tripler Hospital were built in 1940. And just to keep that in, some of the buildings have that character to them, and the way that we're planting the trees go with it too.
Wow.
So it all kind of makes sense. So it doesn't look kind of too modern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have put a lot of thought into this.
Yes.
As far as what you want it to look like.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. designing.
It's beautiful. First of all, how much land is here? What are you working with?
Roughly 86 acres.
Wow.
So about 53 flat, and then the rest goes into the gulch. So we have Schofield behind us, and then Hawaiian Earth above us. And it's a really unique property because the stream runs through the property and an open water ditch. So lots of hiking trails that could, that are down there that we made. So it's picturesque.
Nice.
For sure.
So how does the whole goat, what do you use all the goats for?
So we milk the goats twice a day, every day. So we do everything on the farm. We breed them. They give birth here. We take care of the kids. We milk the moms. We make cheese and other products like caramel and lotion. We want to get into soap making, other cheeses. Yeah.
Nice.
So we do feta, which is aged in brine, so salt and water. We do tome, which has a natural rind on it, similar to Parmesan or Gouda. We do chev, which is spreadable. And those you can make into various flavors. So you can do a sweet version or a spicy or a savory, like with herbs. And then we do caramel sauce. My mom makes that in a copper kettle.
Oh, so okay, y'all. You know that the caramel sauce is on the French toast at Barrio Cafe. Okay, when I found out that they came here for the caramel sauce, I couldn't believe it because it's amazingly delicious. Okay.
I love it on toast and fruit. Those are my go-to.
Nice.
Yeah. Apples, of course. Yeah.
Oh, fun. So what time does your day start?
5 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we milk twice a day. So then we're milking again at about 4:35 again. And then it depends on the time of the year. So if they're birthing, which is called kidding season, the baby goats are called kids. My day could go into the night, the wee, hours of the night. It depends because we help the moms give birth.
Wow.
We want to be there just in case something wrong is happening. Wow. So you become a farmer, a vet, a chef.
Yeah.
When you run an operation like
You're like a goat doula.
Yeah, pretty much. Because like vet bills, if they were to come out, are really expensive. Just it adds up really quickly. So to do all that yourself is something that you should do. It's essential.
Right. So how do you milk the goat? Is that by done machinery?
So when I first started, I was milking about 15 by hand. And we started in that building where all the milkers are. From there, I knew I was getting carpal tunnel. So I got a machine that did one at a time. And then we got another inflation, which pumps the milk. So we did 2 at a time. And then this building, the creamery, was built. And now we do 16 at a time.
Wow.
So it's a really quick process. The stress level is low on the goats because they're in and out. They're on their way to their dinner or their breakfast. So it keeps them in a good mood. They're on their schedule because they love repetition. They don't like change.
Oh, really?
And they don't like the rain. So if it's raining, they're like, can we come back in the barn? They're standing at the gate like, chop, chop, mom.
Who would have thought goats don't like rain?
They don't like rain.
Oh, funny.
And if there's a puddle, they look at it and be like, oh, no, I'm going to walk around or I'm going to jump over it. They hate puddles.
Funny.
Yeah, they hate it. They absolutely hate it. Yeah.
How many goats do you have on the property now?
Now, maybe about 300.
Wow.
I did have more because it fluctuates because we sell goats and then we keep some. We're wanting to milk 200 to 300. We're about a 150 right now.
Okay.
The numbers are great at that number, and then the products that we're making. So it just makes sense. So we'll see where it goes. We don't want to be too small or too big. So kind of balanced in the middle.
Right. Yeah. Wow. That's a lot.
It is.
Yeah,
It's a lot of
just
work.
that's a lot. But how it's like it's so adventurous.
Yeah.
So you're feeding the goats, and then you're milking them, and you're doing all of this on the schedule. When do you make cheese?
We make cheese. Well, we start at 5. We pump the milk over to the cheese making room, and we start the process there. Depending on what cheese that we're making, it's between 6 and 8 hours from start to finish, because you have to pump over, pasteurize, cool the milk down, add the ingredients, and then there's certain times where you have to stir and cut the curds and scoop the curds out. So it's a lot of steps. Yeah.
So how many people work on the farm?
5. Plus my parents. They come out on the weekends and we do projects. And there's always something to do. There's never a dull moment. There's always something to fix, like a tractor or fences that need to be fixed, or just something. Cheese needs to be flipped in the brine or brushed in the aging room. So there's always something to do.
I know it's very specific. People have to know what they're doing. But do you ever have volunteers come out here to help out, or is it just you've kind of gotten the groove of what you're doing?
We got into the groove. It's of what we do. It ends up being more work with volunteers, because then we have to show them, and then it'll be great like one day when we're not like rushing around, and to teach people. But we teach a lot during tours, for example.
Okay.
We show everybody what we do.
Okay, what kind of tours do you do, and when do you do tours?
So it's based on appointments. So like school tours, whenever they want to come out, we see if it's available. It runs about an hour and a half. Then they have a cheese tasting at the end, and the farm store is open. So it ends up being about a 2-hour appointments. And then we're open Saturdays 9 to 12 right now.
Okay.
So, and then our website, we're developing a new website.
Okay.
So we'll be posting when we'll have available times and days.
Okay, great.
To do that.
Great. Okay. I would like to ask Emma, what is the one thing that you would like the people out there to know about Sweetland Farm?
Let's see. I would say that cheese doesn't grow in the grocery stores. It doesn't get made in the grocery stores. It comes from a farm. And so that's why we want people to come to the farm and take a tour and get educated, especially the kids.
Yes.
I want them to know that it comes from an animal, that it comes from a tree, like a fruit comes from a tree, It doesn't grow in a supermarket. So that's why my number one thing, actually, first thing that I wanted to happen here was to get the kids out here. They can see the baby goats, they can see the moms, they get to hand milk a goat by hand and see that the milk is coming out.
Yes.
They see the daddies, they see the teenagers, the middle age group, and they see the whole farm. Where the cheese is aging, they get to see a video of the cheese making process.
Nice.
So they see the whole start to finish.
What a great educational tool for our youngsters. That is so awesome. Thank you, Emma, so much for joining us. And thank you for joining Local Link, where we meet Hawaii kind businesses. I hope you found someone, somewhere, or something new from this episode. Emma, tell us, how do they find you? Where are you?
Instagram is Sweetland Farm Hawaii, and then Facebook is Sweetland Farm Hawaii as well.
Great. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Check out Sweetland Farm. Aloha, y'all. Say goodbye.
Bye.